Welcome everybody. This is CBSI Presents Tales from FlipSide number 64. I'm Dino. Happy birthday to John Z tonight, boys.
Happy birthday. Fake birthday, but that's fine.
Yeah. Tonight we're going to talk about pre-code horror. And we got pickups. And boys, introduce yourselves.
Pete Ups here, and we'll tell you Sunday is the best night to end your auctions, unless Game of Thrones is happening.
Yeah, you don't go up against Game of Thrones.
That's true.
It's funny. I was thinking about doing some auctions. I'm like, well, there's Easter, but I don't think that'll affect it. And then I went, oh, fuck, Thrones.
Dude,
Yeah, I got thrown.
Remember back in the day, you couldn't do it when Walking Dead was on either.
Oh, right. No. You'd have to do it right.
You had to plan around Walking Dead. Yeah, all right, Scotty Too Hottie coming in from Philly. Winter is here. I'm pretty excited about it too. I know Dino is.
I'm like the 1% who doesn't care. It's terrible.
I don't know how you get through life.
I don't know either. It's okay.
I don't understand it, but
I know. Yeah.
So Z, how does it feel to be 59?
You know, it's not my birthday. It just apparently my CBSI Facebook profile apparently had my birthday as today. So
you got a lot of birthday.
Yeah, I noticed it on mine. It flashed up on my notifications. They're like, "Oh shit, Z's birthday today."
I don't know how it chose tax day, but
Coy infiltrated it.
Yeah,
it's probably whatever you chose, man, to get your second birthday in.
John Z with a fake birthday today from lovely Midwest. So yeah,
there you go.
This morning,
give it a shot. I mean,
it was a mistake.
Look at that link, Scotty. We were talking about Star Wars.
That's not the book he was talking about.
Oh no, I don't know, but we were just talking about that. Isn't? So boys,
trailer drop was pretty dope. Do you guys see that?
I didn't see it, man. I can't believe I didn't see it. Everybody posted it. I didn't see it.
I liked it.
Yeah, I mean,
it's non-spoilery.
What?
It was non-spoilery.
Yeah, I mean, but was that was the Death Star, right? On that planet, whatever planet that was.
That's what I thought.
That can't be Endor, right?
You're getting too deep into the mythos for me. But
Sorry, I was. Z, do you have an opinion?
I didn't even see what you're talking about. The Death Star, apparently.
Such a big weapon, looks like a moon.
Yeah.
Kills planets.
It's not a moon.
But
nerds.
That's what happens when you watch a trailer on an iPhone. You miss some stuff.
We just play it on this podcast. We're not really nerds.
I mean, you heard the Emperor laughing, right?
Yeah, it's the big. Honest to God, though, I'm sorry, Star Wars fans. I thought it was the Joker. Like it just Mark Hamill Joker laugh. I was like, it's just all I could think of.
Hamill. How about him voicing Chucky?
Yeah, I think that's cool. I like that.
I mean, that could be wicked and evil.
Yeah, he's got a good evil voice. He really does.
Speaking of Star Wars, let me. Where is it? Someone on the Facebook group had a kind of a maybe spec, and it's the Star Wars Dark Empire #5. Apparently, in that issue,
the first Dark Empire.
Yeah, the first Dark Horse, first one from '92. The CGC label says Palpatine kills himself and through the dark side enters the body of his clone, and it's Palpatine's clone versus Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
So through that laugh at the end of the trailer is how they kind of put that spec together. But I don't know. Why not?
Yeah, I mean it's definitely I mean, that's not an easy series to find out in the wild. There is also platinum editions of them. I think there's gold and platinum, if I'm not mistaken, where they're like Dynamic Forces variants of them.
Yeah, there's definitely I think it's platinum. I don't know if there's gold too.
Hold on, I think I got one in my box over here.
Of course he does, because it's shiny.
You know me too well.
No, I do.
There's There's gold edition. I'm looking in here. There's platinum. There's platinum. I'm just looking at eBay right now. Platinum.
The platinum ones are pretty rare.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've never seen one.
39 BKR says QVC sold the gold ones,
Mm.
which is interesting.
So that would be like the weren't those Maximum Carnage through QVC too?
Yeah, I was just about to go grab that.
Yeah.
I
should
know
relist
where
that.
it is, but I definitely have one somewhere. But
That's okay.
yeah.
The listeners know, they know us. They know.
But they come with, the dynamic forces. They had the COA. Like, I think the platinum were like 750 or 1,000, and the gold were maybe 10,000 or 5,000, something like that.
We decided the
Those are the
gold
ones-
was QVC, so there was
Yeah,
probably a decent number.
yeah. I think they were 5 or 10,000 for them, but the platinum was the rarest. So I would definitely look for them.
I guess that's a good segue for pickups, because I have Star Wars stuff we can show off. I only have one, but so my pickups, it's all hack stuff because that's all I care anymore about. I don't even collect books anymore. Fucking hack.
Man.
So I picked up it's a Star Wars version of Hack actually.
Oh, that's actually pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That was a great read, that book.
Was it?
Yeah, that was pretty.
So sorry. So yeah, it's a Vader Castle, Tales from Vader Castle,
That's a cool
number 4. It's got
Some Ewoks.
some Ewoks in it.
Ewoks, you know?
Yeah, so I thought it was cool. I mean, I think I got it for like cover. It was like $4, dude. It was cheap. So
Yeah, it's probably an orderable variant.
and then I picked up this. There's actually 2 of these, but this is the version of Army of Darkness Bubba Hotep.
Bubba Hotep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. It's got the VHS retro look to it.
Yeah. VHS logo. And then I got this one. I just thought it was cool. I mean, it's a hat cover, but it's it's Doll Man, I guess.
Huh.
Kills the full moon universe. I don't even know what the hell the moon universe is, but he kills them all, I guess.
What's that from?
It's like a Doctor Strange.
Yeah, it's kind of Doctor Strange-esque, kind of.
That's definitely the knockoff Doctor Strange.
Yeah. So
Publisher.
Man's from the Golden Age. So
full.
It's Dr. Odd.
Well, look at it. It's got a Full Moon Comics, I guess.
Oh, is that like from recent?
Yeah.
$3.99. It's got to be pretty recent.
Just
price
look.
on it.
I think it's on his. It was on the. I got it from Midtown. I'm not gonna lie.
And that looks like it's from freaking like 15 years ago, but it probably is from like last week.
$3.99 price tag.
Yeah. Hold on one second. Let me look. It came out. Yeah, October. Oh, in shop October 3rd, 2018. So
Okay. Yeah.
last year.
Huh.
So
I didn't know about Full Moon Comics.
I did not know either.
You're
I'm
gonna
going down a
love
rabbit.
it.
Okay, boys. I am going down a rabbit hole that cannot be unturned now. So
No, this dude is, and he's getting more work. It seems.
it's terrible. It's I feel like since Stein just joined, I feel like I'm he's going down the art germ thing where he's just getting more and more work, and it's so hard to keep up now. Just like,
You better hope he doesn't start doing 1 in 100s and stuff.
oh my god. I mean, it's gonna be. I mean, I feel bad for Stein because
Probably achievable.
Yeah, but I mean, like Stein since Stein joined the thing, he was the greatest art germ collector, and then all of a sudden, art germ started doing 1 in 100s, right, and 1 in crazy numbers, and they're so hard to find.
The one in Walmart's. Stein, did you get a Walmart art germ?
I did not.
You want one?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to hook them up.
I got him, dude. I got you, dude. I got you.
Oh, I still haven't even sent you the books I owe you.
It's fine.
Are you done with pickups, Dino?
Yeah, I'm on done pickups. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, I mean, the art germ is a good segue for me.
Okay.
I got a couple. I ordered the art germ Detective 1000.
All right.
variants.
Ooh,
There's
fancy.
Regular, virgin, and then this one I think is the best.
I think that's the best one too. I think it's the best out of all the Tech 1000s, honestly.
I think it's great. I mean, it definitely doesn't look like his style because it doesn't have the shading and stuff, but I don't know.
It's cool, man.
How's it
don't get
look
me wrong.
for
The regular one looks great too. I mean, it literally just took the line drawing and just added like a vintage comic book feel to it. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, what doesn't look as fake as most of his art. You know, it's all so computer and digital that takes it away.
Did it hold up in shipping considering the thickness?
Oh yeah, they I got these from Scott's Comics or Scott's Collectibles or over. It was actually from UK. They double put 2 comic mailers in there, so they shipped it very well. I was very happy with it.
I wish they would have a series like that on like a real cartoon, like that style, like old school like that.
And I got one more thing.
Oh, I'm sorry, I messed it up.
It's all right, Dino. Just
You're good. I did.
Not a comic, but it's a pop.
Oh,
so,
pops.
Ron Swanson with the cornrows. I don't know if you guys have seen this episode. You know what happened. Have you seen anybody?
No.
This episode? He gets back with his ex-wife Tammy, and he goes to Vegas and he gets the cornrows and they end up getting married, and it's wild. You gotta watch that episode. It's hilarious. So I saw that in the comic shop. I was like, yeah, I gotta get that.
That's awesome.
That's it for me.
I don't have a segue, but I'll just go.
Okay.
Picked up 2 books. I upgraded one because I've been on a similar to Dino, been on a trend here. I upgraded my Mary Marvel 1.
Nice.
Had a 3 and a 3.5. The 6.0 was up on eBay and just went for a price I couldn't pass up. I have since sold the 3.0 to pay for most of the 6, so I feel pretty good about this because it was an ugly 3.0. This is a really nice looking 6. So
it looks sharp. I mean,
the 3.5 I picked up recently too is much sharper than the one I let go. So
what are the main defects on that?
A little bit of staining.
Okay.
The back's got some stuff on it. Spine roll, but I don't think. I would assume it's been pressed. Just looking at it,
newer case.
It's flat. I mean, it's flat, but it's got a spine roll misalignment on the back. There's, I don't know if you can see it. There's some kind of staining.
Okay.
Yeah.
Presents really well, and
I was gonna say for
books you buy the book, not the grade sometimes, and that looks way nicer than it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one I strolled into an LCS and picked up a book that I have never owned, which, not to say I've owned a lot, but it's getting there when a lot of the Silver Age stuff you've at least passed through copies. So picked up
Fire
Adventure 247, First Legion of Superheroes. Not a high grade copy by any means, but really presentable for the grade. The price I couldn't pass up. I mean, the spine is really, really tough, and there's some water spots on the edge, but the rest of the cover is intact and presents really well. So, very happy with this one.
That's a beauty, man.
It's awesome.
Did they tell you where they got it? Was it a collection or just been on the wall for a while? You hadn't been there? Or?
Brand new shop just opened 2 weeks ago. They're just still loading up and getting stuff in there. So,
I wish a new shop opened up by me, man.
Dino, did I send you the story about that guy who bought the storage locker of one of the NFL players, college or professor? I don't know.
Oh, the one that got the Terrell Owens one.
Yeah, that's the one. Did you see that story?
Is that the baseball card one?
Oh, somebody bought Terrell Owens locker.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't see that one.
$4,000 at auction for Terrell Owens storage locker, and this guy. It was full of everything. I mean, like a life-size bust
of
himself, like this contract that said he's not responsible for people getting like kicked, beaten, or shot at some party. Just crazy stuff. And the guy who bought it's like, I'll sell it because Terrell Owens' lawyer reached out to him. He's like, Terrell wants his stuff back. And the guy's like, yeah, I'll sell it to him for a fair price. And then I guess it fell through, and that's what this guy does. He does the storage locker thing, but he knows for sure that these storage lockers are owned by celebrities. So he buys like at least 1 or 2 every year.
Well, I heard storage lockers like Storage Wars and stuff. Like 99% of them are just busts, and like you get 1% that makes you like break even.
Stuff for the show.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever actually went and done it?
No, I almost did. I thought about it.
At one time, it was hot. It was in the summer. I was like, my wife was out of town. I'm like, I'm gonna go fucking burn an afternoon. It was miserable.
Well, then you got to unload it yourself. It's not like,
You got to do it
I'm
right
like, I
then
don't
and
want
there.
to truck. And I was like, there was one locker that was mildly interesting because I saw like some swords and Civil War looking stuff, but it was jam packed. And I'm like, no, I'm not buying it because then I got to deal with
Some cosplay swords.
it. No, they look real. But I mean, it was 10 lockers of crap and one locker of maybe potential.
yeah.
What did that locker end up going for?
A couple grand.
Jeez, wow.
Yeah, I would be in on that.
Like I was truly sitting there going, if I see a box of comics, I'll buy it.
Yeah, that's what I look for.
I don't have anything, man. I've been I don't know if I burn out. You guys are gonna have to replace me on the podcast.
You were rocking the beard though, man.
Yeah,
I need a trim really bad.
keep going, man.
You got the Brett Burns kind of going. I like it.
If we do a
Keep
contest,
it
it's going to be
going for
replace
Paul.
P-Dubs.
What's that, Z?
Do a contest to replace you.
Yeah, the person with the best problem.
Whoever it is going to have a book full of life-defeating stories.
I don't think that person exists.
Where's that little book?
They probably exist. They're dead.
Yeah, they Paul's the
I got a good one.
evolutionary.
I've been slipping a little bit on my Paul's problems. I got a good one.
Tell it early. Get out of the way.
Yeah, this one goes out to all the dads out there. So this one's called Jovi Pucos. And so my youngest daughter is named Jovi. My oldest daughter is Zafira. We call her Z. And my wife was working late or whatever reason wasn't home. And I was sick of the baby waking up at night, after you just get to sleep, then the baby wakes up. So I'm like, I'm going to pack you with so much fucking food that if you wake up, you can't move to cry. So you're not going to ask for food. And if you do, you won't be able to move. So I just gave bottle after bottle after bottle. And it was time to go to bed. And my oldest daughter was in our bed, sitting there relaxing, and the baby's kind of crawling around. I was just about to bring her into her crib. And I lifted her up or something, and she just threw a projectile fire hose, all this formula all over my bed and my daughter in her favorite nightgown everywhere. And so my oldest daughter's screaming. My youngest daughter is just sitting there happy as can be because her stomach's all empty. And I'm like, God, just about to go to bed. So screaming one daughter, and then I got to clean up the baby, and I got her to bed, and it was a mess. So and then on top of that, I didn't know where the new sheets were. I'm like, my wife wasn't answering her phone, so I'm texting her, and I'm like, when you come home, we're going to be asleep in our bed in sleeping bags, so don't be surprised because I can't find the sheets. I don't care where the sheets are right now, and I'm tired. We're going to bed, so deal with it.
The best thing is, I am betting your wife would have showed up and not even questioned it.
No, she got home. She finally did get home. She remedied everything in about 15 minutes.
Yeah. Your wife's a saint.
She is.
She is. So don't overfeed your children because they won't take it. They won't take it. Yeah, that was a good night. Good night to remember.
For the man who's late, Stein, you got any pickups, buddy?
I do. I got a few.
Oh man, look at that in the back. Wait. Look at the back book. Let's look at the back book because otherwise
we'll get to that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I did get the set
Nice.
except for mine came direct from Art Germ Collectibles, and on the Virgin, it's got a huge crease from here to here, massive, and it was not. It was obviously sent like that, so I'm not happy with that.
Are you gonna email Art Germ yourself?
No, because these were shipped out of someplace out of Florida, so I don't even know. I don't know who's.
They just pay somebody middleman that shit.
Yeah. So I was not happy with that. So we'll see how they try and rectify that. But a couple other small things I picked up this week. Let's see here. Yeah, I picked up a haunted horror #1.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, these are pretty hard to find actually. This is the first one I've ever found.
They are.
Those not watching. It's a Chamber of Chills. I don't even almost not an homage, more of a just a
straight swipe.
A swipe, yeah.
Yeah, and I found a Savage Tales #1 Virgin.
Oh, nice. Is that a Perilla?
No, that's a Sidem.
Oh, nice.
What'd you leave behind that I was pissed about?
I was going to get the Campbell Ant #1, the RRP. Yeah, and I still may go back and get it. I'm not 100% sure, but
how much was it?
It was like $50.
That's a hard book. I got one of them. It's a hard book to find.
Yeah, I think there's only probably a couple hundred of them.
And the logo is red foil, right?
Yes. Yeah, all black with a red foil.
Yeah, that's a cool.
Yeah, so I finally got my books back from. Actually, they just came today from the ones that I on-site graded at C2E2. But I was not able to pick them up Sunday afternoon. So that was 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could have sent them to CGC on a fast pass, and they would have came back before now. But yeah, so these were some of the variants that I did get in that haul before. So this was the Black Cat, came back in 9.8.
That's from a store, right? You found that behind
Yeah.
How'd your NYX do?
Huh?
How'd the X23 do?
I've got that
9.6?
right here. Nope. Oh, that was the only one that came back what I thought it would come back. All the rest came back one grade lower. And I didn't grade a whole lot of them. But I got the Black Cat or the Black Widow, and it came back a 9.6.
Cool.
I've still looked at it 100 times, and I still can't figure out why it's not a 9.8.
Crack it, send it back.
Yeah, I'll probably just send that. I'll probably crack it. And then I get the Dotson He-Man. It came back 9.6. I actually graded the Untamed CBSI #1, and it came back 9.6.
Grade the Niobe too, or just that one?
Just this one, because the Niobe's not really. This is not a first appearance, so this one is. So I don't really. I'm still
kind of later printing, so they kind of go together.
I'm still kind of confused though as to why that Hockness Niobe #1 is selling for over 1,000, because it's not a first appearance. So I don't get it.
I think it's the cover. I think it's that it's just kind of got a thing.
I guess.
It's not the book I'm gambling on.
Yeah.
I'm gambling on
and then I did get this one grade. It came back 9.4, but I thought it was a 9.6. I was kind of disappointed.
Yeah.
But they did at least finally come back. So
nothing like CGC to take the haul of the year and make you disappointed.
They humbled you real quick about it.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I can't really complain, because even at the grades they came back at, they're still.
You know what? Coming back at a shitty grade makes them easier to sell sometimes.
Yeah, I probably a couple of those I'll probably crack, and the Black Cat or the Black Widow I'll probably crack. The last 9.6 or the last one I had of those came back in 9.6 as well, and this one is way nicer.
It's because you have a Ohio State salt lamp. That's what the
I
problem
need
is.
to turn that on, but yeah. So that was my pickups, I guess, for the week.
That's
any,
cool.
Any grader notes on those, or
They all just say light bends, but I honestly looked at that Black Widow closely, and I literally, even in the case, I can't see it. I can't see anything. I'm
a little worried about moderns and the handling at shows. Just watching them.
Well, we talked about that in I wouldn't call it pre-show, before the show got started. Me and Scotty about 9.8. You want to talk about that, Scotty? Kind of segue into it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, you go. You
go. We were just talking. I brought up the Captain Marvel #1, the Granoff variant, as an example. Like, just seems like there's a lot of those listed now at 9.8. I'm wondering if our 9/8's going to start to lose their luster a little bit, because that book for an auction went for $150 now.
I think if that happens, that 9/8 start to slip enough that CGC will finally. I think they're holding this card for that rainy day. They'll start actually giving the 9/9s and the 10s that are deserved, and that'll rejuvenate their
for their handshake friends.
And then maybe tighten up their 9/8s too.
Something. So, I mean, I'm sure they have a contingency plan if they even care enough, considering what their real market is. Not us peons.
It just really got me thinking, because that Voltron I got, like, I did not think that was a 9/8, and I have a few other 9/8s in my collection that don't look like 9/8s to me. Like, I wouldn't even have graded these books. So
yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I don't know necessarily know if there's like a conspiracy or not, but I just think some of those guys are probably super picky, and other ones are not super. They're not super picky, and you just.
These guys look at how many books a day. They're gonna miss stuff. It's just human nature. Like,
I
don't think there's a conspiracy.
Probably throw away some 9/8s because I just over analyze everything.
I got hosed on that auction on Sunday. I bet those are 9/8 by sentiment, but just it's you overanalyze, or you just don't have the gusto to go for it.
Yeah, looking at the chat, I see a couple like comments like George says, they'll say you need to pay for CGC pressing. That seems a little. Yeah, that seems to be a little suspect. Tony said they have softer grading on SIGs and sketches. We'll see. I submitted I got two SIGs at C2E2, so we'll see what those come back as.
I do think they're soft.
They hammered my Friesens.
Yeah, I think both the ones that I submitted were probably 9/8s as well, but like I said, all those 9/6s, all three of those I thought were 9/8s. I wouldn't have done on site with them if I didn't think that they were 9/8 before I went up.
On site is its own beast. They are under huge time constraints. Let's be honest, they probably don't sleep as well as they would have in their own beds, and probably make some mistakes the night before. And they're.
I'm saying, they could have graded your books first thing in the morning when they were fresh, and saw every little defect, and then the stuff later in the day probably just gets pushed through.
Yeah, they have to get so much done in that day.
But that's the best time, because they miss the Dan Piercy SIGs and everything.
I think it used to be, but I think it's almost going the other way. The last 2 or 3 conventions, I had John Brown take some stuff. Not this year, C2E2 last year, and I got beat up on some stuff I'm not sure I should have.
Yeah, the couple of these I think I'm just going to crack, and I'm not even going to press them. I think I'm just going to crack them and resub them and see what happens.
That'd be interesting.
I think you need to check them, but yes.
Because look, they could have damaged your book too. They could have put a little dent in it, taken out of the bag,
They could have, but I guess I don't know.
How many people how many people handle your books throughout the whole process?
I wonder if they wear gloves too. For what comes to mind to me in that aspect is those foil covers that pick up just every little anything.
Oh God! Any of those they give a 9/8 is a miracle, because we have seen how they make those.
Oh, they scan so bad too. They look so bad when you scan them.
I got the what is it? Action Comics 1000. That. Oh man, who's the Jim Lee? The Jim Lee variant.
Oh, the Roadshow variant.
I think so, but I got it. I took it out of the bag to scan it, and the back cover is all black and just all the fingerprints. And I was like, shoot.
Yeah.
Didn't think of it. And I have gloves. Just general, rubber gloves. But
I should wear gloves when I look at comics, and I just don't. I just don't fucking do it.
I mean, it depends on the comic, but when it comes to CGC, I mean, do they really care? I mean, some do.
I assume they do. I assume they wear gloves. I bet. Who knows?
I would imagine they would wear gloves.
Yeah, I mean,
I would think that you would see fingerprints on a lot more books if they didn't.
I will say that on that, like that action, and the same thing with these Detective 1000s. Those are so glossy that you can wipe those fingerprints off really easy.
Well, to a degree. I mean, but like, what was it? 2012 Marvel paper was just.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Oh yeah, some of those, and like even like the CBSI or this Untamed. I didn't realize it.
Oh shit! Any of the Stranger books.
But yeah, I mean that's jet black on the back. I mean it's solid black. So I didn't even notice it. But luckily, when I pulled it out, I mean I didn't take it all the way out. So
I have about 20 of the Untamed between the variant and the regular from the original run, and there's so many fingerprints on them. Probably because they took them con to con. But my god, they're just littered.
How's your Italian edition ASM 300 with fingerprints?
I don't think that's too bad. It's pretty glossy. It's more just shipping, and it's a really thick book, and it's cardstock.
Mm-hmm.
And fucking Koi Cakes has one going into grading, and if he
it's a 9.8 baby.
If he pulls a 9.4 or higher, I may have to fucking just.
He told me
I may leave the hobby.
He told me it's 9.8.
It is not.
I thought the Moss Poop crew like walked it through CGC and kind of pressured them.
They did.
Did he really say it's a 9.8?
No, I'm just fucking with you.
Dude, I would probably just leave the hobby. That book is impossible. Just it's so thick, and just nobody took care of them. And
he told me he got it from his Italian buddy. He got sharp corners, nice bubble wrap.
I could have sworn mine was a 9.4 or 9.6, and they still killed it with a 9.2.
He said he got it for
I know.
He got it for $1 at the Moss Poot crew, the flea market. Moss Poot flea market.
I love it, but I love to hate him more.
He said he'll trade you some books for it.
Thank you. Please, because every time I fucking trade with Koi, I end up feeling like I didn't have enough lube. Every time.
Yeah, you gotta lube it up when you get do a business deal with Koi.
Not once have I walked away from deal with Koi and been on the winning side.
And you know tax season's over, so he's ready to roll.
I got lucky once. I bought a book off him just before an announcement. And
that was a book you bought. A trade every time fucking something happens and you're like, how did that book just triple? And mine didn't.
He's got that secret intel.
Oh man.
I've been trying to get into Moss Poot crew. They won't invite me for some reason.
They don't like Greeks.
It's a reverse racism.
What does that even mean?
No idea.
I don't know. You got to be in the crew to know, man. See, I don't even know.
I mean, if you have to ask,
you don't know. Yeah. Costs you too much. I think they're doing Patreon stuff and membership deals. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure we live in the too far north.
I think so too. I mean, I wonder if you have like your own like card, like member like an ID.
Hey, did you get snow, Dino?
No, I mean, I got like a mix. It wasn't like snow. Up north did or out west did, I think, but I didn't.
Well, Tony probably did.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That poor guy. I don't think he's seen green grass yet.
I don't think so either. We'll check back in July. We'll see what he says.
You know where Castle Black is? Tony lives about 15 miles north of that.
Yeah. He's right next to Craster's Keep.
Did you play golf yet, Scotty?
No, my first round is this weekend.
Oh man, I gotta go.
How about Tiger, man? Pulling it out.
Oh my god, that was amazing.
Dude, Francesco Molinari is a beast, though, man.
But all those dudes could not handle the pressure of Tiger being Tiger. It was nice, it was really nice seeing him in that red shirt again.
Yeah.
I usually try and watch the Masters, and I just totally botched it. I'm sad.
It was pretty nice. It was the energy was amazing.
Yeah, and Sean was there. That sucks.
Yeah.
Was he there
I
that
had a
day?
couple buddies who were there.
No, he went on a practice round day. I think it was either Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday.
Well,
Wednesday.
his positive vibe rubbed off on Tiger.
Yep.
He probably shook Tiger's hand, and that's what made him win it.
Probably got Tiger drunk the night before.
Yeah.
He most definitely did not, or Tiger wouldn't have made it.
Yeah, that's true.
Who knows, man? He's the GOAT, man. Maybe he drank something under the table.
Sean legit masters.
Tony said there's still snow on the ground. It's funny.
Tony says there'll be snow until like July, I think.
Yeah, wouldn't doubt it.
About 3 weeks of summer.
You
gotta get some dry ice, Tony, and start a business where you mail snowballs to people in Hawaii or some shit.
It's not a bad plan.
Capitalize on that.
I could see a Paul's problem come from this business venture.
Yeah, I can't wait for the reviews. Arrived half melted. What is this?
Let's see how they rectify
the water.
Yellow snow problem.
Let's see how they rectify this situation.
I just send bubbles of water, be like freeze your own snowball.
Maybe.
Genuine Wisconsin water. Shoot. All right, you guys look at this some pre-code horror covers.
Yeah.
I did not. I know nothing about Golden Age, and I'm not going. I refuse to learn.
All right, we'll cover this topic next week and give a week for Scott to research.
Did you say you refuse to learn? Is that?
I refuse to learn. I do not need another rabbit hole.
I think it was cool because I was looking at these covers, and so it was before the comics code, which the guys alluded me to, and part of me was thinking,
the comic code to us.
The what?
Explain the comic code to our listeners that don't know what it is.
According to me,
that'd be great.
Oh gosh, he said starts with according to me.
The gospel according to Paul. No, so these awesome, crazy covers were being released, which is weird given the time, because just how you think of this time period is, just everything proper and yes sir, yes ma'am, and kiss a girl on the cheek if you're lucky before the end of the night after a date, if their parents even let you walk her to the door, like just that whole genre of lifestyle. But then there's these crazy cool covers coming out that fit nothing to the American lifestyle as you may picture it. So then they came up with all the parents were blaming violence and hoodlumism and who knows what else on comics.
Gravity.
Yeah, and
So what year was that, Paul?
Yeah, those years, and so they came out with the code.
Those years.
What the code did is basically say, no blood, no drugs.
What's the code? What's the code? He says.
So they had to change the covers, which it's strange how it doesn't fit what you think of those specific years to be.
For those of you listening that need a little bit more,
19 probabilities.
This all actually started. For those of us who grew up in the 80s, kind of reminds you of the metal kind of thing, video games and rock music polluting your brains. But there was the Seduction of the Innocent, which was a book written by Frederick Wertham that kind of said that this imagery and stuff was polluting the minds of the youngsters and causing them to do degenerate things, and drugs and murder and crime was up. And that created the comic code, which pretty much was the comic industry's response to we'll kind of self-manage instead of we'll go for your approval and self-correct instead of making you ban us and close us down.
I like Paul's explanation better.
I know, but Betsy's gonna fucking hear this and yell at me if I don't at least give you a little bit of information that's worth knowing.
I think
where,
I mean, they had to do it because I think if they didn't do the comic code, I think comics would have died in that era.
It would have. Have you ever seen that show on HBO where the celebrities do drunk history?
yes.
Yeah.
That is what we should do with Paul. And
I mean, I call it
Oh my
Paulpedia.
God, yeah.
Like Wikipedia is my Paulpedia. So
Drunk history with Paul. I'm in.
I'm for it too.
you who wants to go first? So what we did is we kind of did top 5 covers for pre-code horror, and we kind of made our own lists, or 5 covers we like, or maybe they're not unattainable. We like them. Maybe you can afford them. Maybe you can't. There's really no.
pretty much if it's pre-code horror, most of us can't anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a real, and narrowing it down to 5 is I mean, it's really difficult.
That was a good Ben eye roll. That's probably going to be the screen right there.
It was. I kind of went off the beaten path. You know, we made a list of top 50 pre-code horror books. So I didn't want to put any of those on there. So I kind of went with
CBSI.
yes, sorry. CBSI made a top 50, and I think Wood made the video for it. Top 50 pre-code.
I think it was Ben C's list, right?
Yeah, it was Ben C's list. I'm presenting to everyone. Okay.
But Dino just took credit for the big salad. He said we.
There've been 2 versions. There was one about 4 years ago, and then last year he kind of evaluated the list, and that is when Brian Woods, aka Simple Man, did some nice video content on YouTube. You should check out.
Correct. I'm
it's
losing it.
royal league.
I'm losing it.
We're going into the multiverse.
I don't know what
It's
happened
the
there.
royal league, Ben. That's what he means.
That's my bad. Okay. So it's just not in any kind of order, not any kind of crazy order. Just 5 comics that I liked. So first one's Web of Evil 5. The
This
famous.
one is blowing up right now.
Mm-hmm.
Mid grades, low grade, like 3s and 4s are in the 3 and 4K range.
Yeah. So it's is this Cole? I didn't write down artists or anything like this. Is this Cole?
No, I don't
No.
think so.
I should have done more homework.
That
right?
was, I actually just had that as one of my honorable mentions on the top 10 a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that book is nuts.
Yep. I mean, it's cool. You know, electrocution. I mean, it's cool. He's laughing maniacally.
What's funny to me is some of these books are not on the top 50.
No.
And we're so rabid for just these cool books that are so just wrong that some of them are selling for more than the ones that are.
So like Quality, Ajax, St. John's. We can talk about publishers afterwards, I guess. Things to look out for, you know, when it looks at pre-code horror stuff. So that's my first one. I'm trying to figure out how to actually go over. Okay. This one's actually on the list, but me and Z were kind of talking about this earlier. This is like an honorable mention kind of for me, I guess. I think. Oh no, not. Is it? Yeah, it's kind of an honorable mention, but I threw it in here anyways. This book is Weird Tales of the Future. Is it? I think it's 2. Is it? Oh no, number 8. I'm sorry, number 8. It's a really affordable book. Me and Z were talking about this a couple nights ago. I can't believe that it's so affordable. I guess
Relative, like a 3 sold for $500.
Yeah, I mean, you would figure with this being an iconic book, and this actually is on a list of top 50 pre-code horror books, that this would be like
got a kind of emaciated man / zombie with his heart kind of sitting on a table in front of him.
Yeah, that he's trying to. I guess is he? I didn't even read this book. I've never. Has anybody actually read a pre-code horror book? I haven't. It's like, is he trying to get it back in? I guess is that the thing. I don't know. So. And he's got a skull. There's a skull. I'm a big skull guy, so there's like a skull on the cover too. But it's like on the shelf.
Paul, if he were to go alone to a convention, waking up without his kidneys, you know,
in an alley on a bedbug-ridden fold-out couch.
pretty much. My wife only lets you travel with Dino.
Yeah,
Pretty much. I had a great idea, by the way. Next time I go anywhere, I think I'm gonna pack that like carry-on only, but I'm going to mail all my non-flight materials to the hotel ahead of time. And like in the box will be a label. I'll just mail it back to myself before I go home. Because the weight will be the same unless
that's not bad.
steals my, my secret extendable super baton.
That's
And,
not bad.
there you go.
That's smart. I mean, it's cheaper than a bag fee, I guess.
That's right. That's right. Anyway.
This is Witchcraft 5. A lot of good witchcraft books are out there. Actually, this is 4. I'm sorry. This is 4. There's a lot of cool covers in witchcraft. And it's Avon. So Avon's a great publisher when it comes to pre-code horror stuff. I just like it. It's skulls, like people burning. He's cooking them.
Yeah, it's frying into like a pot.
Yeah, like a cauldron, kind of like old school, like cartoon kind of style, I guess. And they got the skulls around it.
More because there's more skulls on it.
It's got. I'm trying to get ones with a bunch of skulls on it. So
Witchcraft 2 is one of my honorable mentions, which was that as a bright yellow cover with just a giant skull on it.
Yep. Next one would be if it actually would work. Okay. Hold on 1 second. Oh, here. Voodoo. This is Voodoo 15 actually. I think it's just a cool cover. I mean, it's got death on it, and it's got it's like a jewelry box with a man and a woman's face in it. So
it almost looks like Death is wearing some 3D glasses there.
I know it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
There's some really cool voodoo.
Yeah.
Some of those covers in that voodoo run are pretty cool.
Yeah. So that's a voodoo book.
That's a comic media publisher, which is my favorite run is there with Horrific.
Yep. This one, is this considered pre-code horror? I mean, I don't know. I mean, more crimey, I guess, but it's very controversial, obviously, because it's like swastikas and KKKs, but I mean,
can't go wrong with this one.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of threw it up here. It's a little controversial, but I mean, it's hard book to find. I mean, obviously.
For those who aren't on YouTube, what book is that?
Suspense Comics 3, number 3. And I don't know what my cats are doing right now, but trying to murder something. So it's somebody who's standing over somebody. They're all in the hoods and like swastika gear. It looks like the KKK. And there's a woman tied to a stake, and she's gonna get stabbed. And there's like a guy on the fence who's sorry, I had to go yell at my cat. Who's on a fence, has a spear and like is gonna interrupt them, and some guy's trying to shoot at him. So
I'm trying to figure out. There's 2 guys shooting at him, and the bullets are going straight at his chest, like he's gonna die.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Like he's not gonna miss that.
Yeah, one guy with a spear, with guys with weapons, and a Tommy gun too. The guy has a Tommy gun.
Yeah, he's toast.
What's interesting horror to me is I had always assumed a lot of comics was collected by like the old guys, the 50, 60-year-olds that are just off and kind of hitting retirement and just buying those things that they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've been on IG, the average pre-code collector is actually, I feel old for some of them.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of tech money and just people that are so frustrated with the politically correct culture we're in that they just want something to just be so wrong.
Yep.
They will pay a lot of money to have just that piece of history that goes.
And if you look at the bottom left corner, boys, it's a Schomburg. And I'm not a Schomburg fan by any stretch of the imagination, but this is cool. And then the last book I have is what's that?
Be dissing on Schomburg.
It all looks the same except for this one. This is cool, man. This is a cool book for me. Haunted Thrills number 6. You got the devil in the back with a skull with a top hat, and he's rolling the dice. It
looks like a coal, but I don't think it is.
He's rolling that Raz No Snake Eyes.
I know that No Snake Eyes. You got to re-roll that thing.
Yes, buddy.
So that's my list. I mean, I kind of went off I didn't want to go with like Black Cat 50, this books that everybody knows. So I kind of went with offbeat books. Hopefully that
you went with the hipster books.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did the same thing, Dino.
Good.
PBR books, my friend. The PBR.
Yep. So I'm gonna hit stop and then hopefully it doesn't lose my mind. Okay, so that's my list of books that, and honestly, they're kind of they're hard to find. Most aren't. Most are not attainable, but I mean, they do come up every once in a while. So,
all right.
You want to go next time?
Yeah, I'll go.
All right.
I'll jump. If I can figure out where this little hit the screen share, right?
Yeah, and then you just pick the screen you want to share, obviously, so you don't look in a super loop like I did.
Right. Okay. All right. So first, I went with Beware number 10. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That is a Frazetta. I think it's just the motion that you can see in the art. I think it is just unbelievable, and it's got nice full moon.
Yep.
Full moon in the back and
motion and kind of action like he does.
Yeah, it is just something about that just is. Now this is not cheap. Actually, there a 3.0 just sold this week for $1,700. So this is not cheap at all.
But it's doable, right? I mean,
number 10.
Yeah. Got a red dress.
Yeah, red dress, skeletons. Yeah.
I mean, but it's not. I know a lot of people can't afford $1,700, but it's in the world of PCH, it's not that bad. I mean, theoretically.
I mean, I'm thinking if I had $1,700, would I buy this or would I buy one of Frazetta's famous funnies? I might go with, I might go with one of those.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing, like the one, I can't remember which number, the one where they're like underwater and her hair is kind of flowing and stuff. It just, the action on that is just impressive. But
yeah, it's not iconic enough, I don't think.
That's expensive though. All right, so next, this one, this was a little off the wall. It's, I guess, technically pre-code horror, but it's kind of like pre-code horror humor at the same time. It's like a satire, and it's Flip number 1. And but look at this cover. It's like ridiculous. It's I mean, it's got this little dude in it that's like sitting there like he thinks he's getting a date or whatever, and these people are all hanging from the ceiling.
That girl's very combined Elvira and a red dress.
Yeah, I mean, there's skulls, there's snakes, there's
people hanging from the ceiling.
I mean, it's just the cover is just, there's a noose. The cover is just ridiculous. But it's like I don't know. There was only 2 issues in this series, but
it's like a Mad Magazine-esque.
Almost, yeah, something like that. This is a little bit cheaper. I looked the last. There was this is actually not that easy to find, but a 7.5 sold a year ago for $1,000. So
that's probably a good deal too.
Some of these humor mags are tougher to find than you want. I mean, there's a few I've been looking for, and they just never come up.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, this was a little bit off the wall, but I think it probably still fits technically as horror, comedy horror. All right. Next I went with Mr. Mystery number 6. And this is kind of a classic, on the Wheel of Death type thing.
Red dress, buddy.
Red dress. These little skeleton guys are cranking her into the boiling lava or whatever.
It's a vat of lava.
It's liquid hot magma.
Not sure. This was just like I said, it's just kind of a classic cover. There's a couple other ones that are on like this Wheel of Death.
I like the guy behind the guy who's throwing her down. What is he, like the OSHA supervisor? Like what is he doing back there? He's like just hanging out.
This is not cheap either. A 4.5 sold in October for $2,200. So this is probably one I'm probably not going to be getting anytime soon. But it is a very classic cover. It's kind of been redone similarly some other times as well. But
that's what the interesting about pre-code is almost all of it is moved to the same point, Whereas like that and a Black Cat 50 or a Chamber of Chills 19 or like the big dogs that everybody's looking for, it's almost like the tide has risen where they're all, the entry point is so high on all of them.
And I guess too to add to that too is like I'm glad they haven't done like copies, you know, like how they've done with other books and stuff like that, you know.
You know, I think that'd be a good. You found a sweet cover like this or something else that we may mention tonight, and you made a copy of it, like a store variant. It might actually be decent because it's a cover that you don't know about, so it sparks interest. I don't know. What do you guys? I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Would it kill it, or would it help, or would it be neat? Would you buy it?
I would buy it because I'm a big fan of it. But I mean, it depends how it's done. Is it just a ripoff? Is it tastefully done?
My fear would be it would be taken with and run with to the point that it would be saturated and kill the joy.
Yeah, and I think honestly the biggest part of pre-code horror that not besides just the really interesting covers and stuff like that is just the history behind what was actually going on, because none of us were alive back then.
Mm-hmm.
But that was just, I mean, like when you sit there and think about, I mean, some of us, not Paul, but some of us were, you know, that did live through the you know, the 80s and the, you know, and the album ratings and stuff that came out, and you know, the stuff with Two Live Crew and all that stuff. That was a whole, I mean, I was like 12 and 13. I mean, I was like my teenage years. So, I mean, I remember that. And then to like back that up another 30 years, 35 years, and kind of the same type of thing. I think it's just the history behind what makes this whole genre just a whole different type of experience, to just own a piece of history.
Yeah, I think it would just feel like it is diluted if you just start printing it.
Right.
All right. So the next one that I put here, and I had to put a Matt Baker on here. I went with Nightmare number 13.
I like his crime books too. I know we're talking about pre-code, but Matt Baker's crime books are ridiculous too.
They are. They're honestly, even his romance are ridiculous. But this one's got like the little sea monster siren creatures or whatever. And
I think Tony showed this to me the other day, and I had never seen it. It was just
I've never seen it either.
It's a ridiculous. I mean, it's ridiculous. If Matt Baker, he passed away like what, in the 60s? I mean,
he'd only worked in comics for a very short time.
Yeah, I mean,
he cranked out a lot of stuff, man, for the short time he worked. You know,
these guys worked hard, and they did not have a lot of time.
But yeah, so I had to put a Matt Baker on there, and he doesn't have a whole lot of horror. So is this one?
He died in 59.
59, yeah. So, and this one's not cheap either. A 7.5 sold for $2,200 2 months ago. So again, not cheap at all. And last, this is probably my favorite, and this is one I actually own, but it's probably the cheapest on the list that I have, is Vault of Horror number 37.
Yep.
It's a Johnny Craig cover of the guy hanging himself. I'm assuming he hung himself, but
Johnny Craig is a bit of the realist of the
yeah. It just has I don't know. It just has the perspective of it, and it's just
shadow.
Yeah, the shadow, everything about it.
I love how all these artists can draw feet as well.
Yeah, so this one I actually own. I own a very low grade copy. It's probably like a 4 raw copy. So this was not an high grade. You're gonna be run into a lot, but I mean, like a 5.0 sold back in December for $270. So it's not. This one's definitely gettable. If you're looking for.
I had a Johnny Craig on my my short list. Number 35 is the infamous Christmas casket issue.
Oh yeah.
with the axe and the wife in a casket. And,
Oh, that was on my 5.
sorry, Paul.
Yeah, Paul.
So, anyways, that was my 5.
That's cool.
Now that Z spoiled it, I should probably go next.
Okay. Try to take you off present. I don't know why. Losing my mind. Okay.
Here's our top 50 list on comicbookinvest.com. So if you're on the iTunes or whatever, just type in top 50 pre-code horror comics. But I liked Weird Mysteries number 12. I thought that was a good one. Another good full moon in the background, and looks like this guy's pulling his wife out of the grave when he's
he's a necrophiliac.
Yeah, another red dress.
Is it just me, or I'm thinking Paul wouldn't make it very long without his wife, and that's why?
Pretty much. Yeah. It's just me asking my wife where the sheets are. From the grave.
It's a little too close to home, Paul.
Then Mystic number 18. I like the winter covers.
That's a classic cover, man.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
I thought that was awesome.
The Russian Devil.
So yeah, I thought that was pretty sweet. And what do we got next? Yeah, this is the Vault of Horror that Ben was just talking about.
I have a few of these, and I keep trying to upgrade, and I just keep getting pissed. I sell them.
I just laughed when it was, don't get your wife, a frying pan or a vacuum for Christmas, and this guy gets her a freaking casket. I don't know. I just chuckling at that cover.
How does she not see that under the tree?
Hey, she's blonde. So anyway, I don't know. I was just Googling some, and I think this is me after I got Jim beamed trying to get home after the podcast, being discovered going to bed too late. But I just thought this was a pretty neat cover.
Skeleton shoot another skeleton.
Yeah.
Hey, the little dude with 2 hands on the left side is freaking me out.
2 hands.
What else we got here? Does this one count? I don't know. This is what Google pulled up. So I saw
sci-fi, but
I'm
shoot with it.
I saw a lady in space, so I got that.
What is it? Operation Pearl number 5?
Yeah, I apologize, anybody on iTunes. So it was Vault of Horror number 35. The Skeleton Man was Suspense number 28 from 1953. I don't know if the guy's trying to check a book out at midnight from the library, but
he was on the late fee. You got a late fee on that, man.
I've not seen that one before, so that's cool.
And the last one was Operation Peril number 5 from 1951. I just thought it was pretty cool.
I find a little bit horror because it's got that Mephisto looking kind of guy in the background.
Yeah,
a little bit. And then let's see if I can figure this out. There we go. So and then I got to give a shout out to Chamber of Chills number 19 because I did win this beautiful 2.5 copy from Sean back in the Raz days. So
you bastard.
This beautiful frame. I got a little see if I can I got a little pin that I shoved into the frame to go with it.
And in a case, and in a CGC case.
In a new CGC, yeah, no rivets. I mean, I could draw the rivets in with a permanent marker, but I haven't.
Are you going to switch that from CGC to CBCS? I would.
I think. I mean, why go there? I'm going to go PGX. So why go? And so I have. I mean, it was beautiful. It's just a love story. I had like $200 left in my PayPal, and I was just in a WTF mood. And I threw it all, put all my chips in, and I won that on a Raz. So that was cool. And then Mr. Z, if you can hear me speaking over the screaming child in the background, Mr. Z sent me this We Can Never Go Home number 1 homage link, 9.8. And so I got that for a really good price. And I'll just mute myself now because I think my daughter's got to stop now. But anyway, someone else can go next. But those are hanging on my wall, so some cool books.
Sean the other week, you could have got a Danzig sig because he apparently walked right by him.
Yep.
Who do you walk by?
Danzig.
Oh, nice. Oh, and now my daughter is silent, of course. Or whatever.
What frames are those? People are asking what are the frames?
I wish I knew, man. So these are from Doc Joe sent me these. Well, he kept a couple and then sent me some, but I don't know if you can present me again, Dino. But I'll try and show the back.
Yeah, you're good. Hit up.
Yeah. So on the back, they just have these
little slider things.
Yeah, and then so this is where you'd hang it on the wall, and then these just kind of fold to hold the slab up. For those on YouTube, and it fits really nice. I have not been able to find these same frames anywhere. So I have just, I don't know, 3.
Dr. Joe, help us out.
Yeah, he's in the chat. Maybe.
I think Joe got them from Trey. So I don't know where they come from, but they don't have any. They don't have anything on the front. It's just the book. It's literally just the frame. And then I had to like loosen these screws on the back for a couple of the thicker books, but it holds them great. They look amazing on the wall.
Okay, we're looking for sponsorship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. But no, they're beautiful. They're great frames. I mean, I'm a proponent for that, of not keeping your books in a box and like behind Z, the comic mounts, and just switching those out, getting your books out of a box and get them up and displaying them for the art that they are.
I think these are on Etsy, and I don't know if they're the same. Economy graded comic book frame, and you can do CGC or PGX or Volt, I guess. I don't know if these are the same. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm looking at frames for CGC right now.
And everyone, we talked to Z too. He was worried.
I don't remember what they are.
Yeah.
Maybe I have it on my phone, but Z was talking about, worrying about sunlight and stuff. And yeah, I mean, that's an issue if you have your books direct in sunlight, but
if you're in like a basement or an attic and there's not a lot of window space and you get rid of the fluorescent, you're probably okay.
I looked up this website and I haven't delved into it yet. ECCframes.com. I wonder if that's where they're from, but I mean,
are they plastic?
No, they're wood. I mean, you would imagine that there would be some sort of.
It's like comic book pod is another good. Oh,
so if we find it, we'll put it out there somewhere. We'll talk about it in a future show.
If they want to sponsor us.
Yeah, Joe said he can't remember where he bought them from. That's funny. Robert Miller said you can put UV film over the CGC case too.
Yeah, Robert, I'm still a proponent for that clear nail polish, just that thin layer.
Just throw
a nice on it. Glass UV thing on top of the frame and give you a little space and do that way.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do that ourselves, but yeah. So, to the 16 listeners out there, don't steal that idea.
Right. But I don't know. If we can find these frames, I'd love to share them because they're great.
Those are nice.
And like I got some pins. I can here. Let me grab this other one off the wall.
But the frames is like. There's so many sizes you got to deal with now.
There's a couple of them. I don't know. I put some links up there in our chat.
3 sizes of comic case, and then technically in the olden days they had different thicknesses if you've bought some of the old ones, and then you've got PGX and CBCS and.
Here's one more just while I'm still on. I don't know if I'm on present. Am I on?
Yeah, hit it up, dude.
So this is my favorite Turtles cover, but I got that in a frame too. And so I got these. I just got some pins, and I just like that personal flair to it. Where you can just put a couple pins in there, and
I think it's a collector's resource. I think it's a collectorsresource.com, and it's a comic book pod. I think that's really what it is, boys. It's like $20 a thing. I think. I don't know if they have deals or not, but.
So what is it? Comic what?
The collectorsresource.com, and it's a comic book pod, I think. Because they have graded books and
It looks familiar. Yeah. We'll do some more research and we'll get back to you.
I mean, it literally.
But that's
Pretty
got
good
a
at
piece of glass
half-assed,
in
so we'll
front.
come back later.
That's got UV glass in the front.
Does it?
Yeah.
I mean, $20 for one is not. I don't think that's that bad. I mean,
They probably have discounts if you buy more.
I'm gonna ask them if they're gonna sponsor our podcast. Maybe.
Yeah, I think the code is F5.
maybe we can sign up to be a warehouse dealer, do some distribution for them.
I like that one on qualitycomicbookframes.com where they had the Walking Dead. You can look at that.
You assume that meant F5 Comics. That really just meant 5 people watching.
Maybe.
Oh shoot! All right, I kind of took us down a different path. Who was next on their code, their horror books?
This is it's going to be interesting.
Well, listen, I'm gonna be a little more. I don't know. I took it as what would I buy if I could buy it, and I got into pre-code horror early enough that I could buy some of it. So the books I have maybe are high on the list just because they're books I wanted.
Yep.
4 of my top 5 I do own, and I then went with what's the 5th one I want. So we'll start there. One I wanted is just because I am a huge Frank Frazetta fan, and the Stein had showed this before, but I do have a copy of Where the 10 by Frank. It is a real low grade copy, and I bought it many years ago, and I paid a fair price, and it's probably worth a bit more now, but missing a corner and a little rough, but still has the good parts.
That's awesome.
That is a cool one.
That's nice.
I don't know. I just got lucky.
Is that one of those books? You know, how they just look better in person than they do on a screen. Is that one that just looks better in person?
I think all of Frazetta's work looks better in person. And listen, I'm a bit of a weird collector. I got into the hobby on Golden Age. The first book I bought back when I got in the hobby in 2000 and I think 12 or 13. Okay, but I got back into the hobby because of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. But after that, when I bought my first retro book, it was actually Golden Age, and I bought a Captain Marvel Adventures. But I found Frazetta's work and just got obsessed, and I bought it early on. So I have some. I love it. I wish I had bought more, but I bought it cheap enough that it is what it is, and it is just gorgeous. And if you have not seen a Frazetta work up close, find a wall and find one. It is just, the detail is so much better than almost anything you'll find out there.
Yeah, that weird science fantasy one, that's one I want to get.
Oh my god, that one's gorgeous. Any of the Famous Funnies run, a lot of people like the underwater cover. My favorite is the octopus cover, or the space covers are great, but that octopus cover just shows a guy that has more definition than any man has ever existed, but that's just because Frank just went to so many details. It's just amazing. So I don't know. I think that is why these books are so collectible, is they're just such a different piece of history. And where Frazetta did them semi-realistic, now, you've got people like LaField that just draw lines to draw fucking lines. They know what they mean. So take that as you will. Another one, sorry, it's a repeat. Chamber of Chills 19.
Big one.
Somebody's is better.
Not better. I bought this many years ago, got a good price on it, and just have not sold it.
Was that our first IndieCon?
What?
Was that first IndieCon book?
No, I got this at Comic Link on the right time. I actually, though, it does have.
Oh, that was Christmas, wasn't it? That was that Christmas deal.
It wasn't New Year's.
New Year's.
I did have a price on it at IndieCon this year of like $4,000. At the time, was a high price, and I look at it now and go, "It's selling a heartbeat." Then.
Yep.
I just put it on the wall with a price I thought was crazy, and nobody would buy it. And if I put it on the wall,
Z, what's a 2.5 go for? Or what would a 2.5 add? I have no idea. I just won this. I think it's cool. I have it. It's hanging on my wall.
The thing is, with most of these, between a 0.5 and a 6, the spread is becoming very low because people just want a presentable cover.
So you'll give me 400 for it.
I think that's at least $2,500
Dude,
book.
so the last sell was 2017.
What is it?
At 2017, last sold was 1275. 2014 was 612. So you figure you do the math, it's probably what,
Well, no, look, I mean, a 2.0 just sold for 2,400.
I was gonna say you're a $2,500 to $2,800 book.
A 5.0 just sold for $5,000 in November of 2018.
Like you could get yourself to a 3/4 to a presentable TNMT one.
Oh man, an 8.5 sold in August of 2018 for 11,000.
Let's not talk about Black Cat 50 and our friend Black.
That's. Can we talk about him? Can we name drop a second?
Dude, that book, I saw the one he got go for auction, and it was a terrible time that I was unemployed for about 8 months. And the one time I was not willing to go nuts on a book, and I wish I did it, and he bought, what's he got, a 9.6?
9.6 of it. Low and highest rated.
I think he got it for what, 11K, 12K, something stupid.
Yep.
Oh my God. And I just kind of cried inside and died.
So we talk about there's an IG guy called Black Cat Collection. If you guys are on Instagram, you should really check him out. He has pretty much the quintessential pre-code horror books, and they are in the highest grade, if not second highest grade of all his books, like on all the census of every book. So,
but he doesn't have the frames, just so you know.
No, he has a bookshelf, like wall style. It's crazy. So
okay, so this is my number one, but I'm listing at number 3 just because it adds a little excitement. Black Cat 50. This is the book when I got back in collecting. I wanted a copy. And this is when the rumors that Frazetta was maybe doing some inks on it came out, didn't come out. I still don't know. It's a Lee Elias cover. There's some debate. Frazetta did some work on it.
Did it note it in the CGC label?
No, there's never confirmed that. The rumors he did some pages inside. I don't think anybody is saying he did the cover.
Can you open it and look right now?
This is, I don't know. This is just the cover.
It's the coolest cover ever.
Yeah.
The radium, the whatever, it's been swiped a few times. There's a reprint by, dang it, who's it by? Canton House.
Yeah.
I actually bought the proof set that they did the pages to off of it just because I wanted to maybe display it someday.
Mm-hmm.
There have been a few, I only think one homage, Crossed 100 has a nice little homage cover that sells for nothing. So you could maybe get a nice little $10 comic and get at least a piece of it. The reprint that sold for like $10 a pop sell for $80-$90 just because this one is unattainable.
Yep.
But again, I stated strange because to buy this in a 2.5 and a lot of other books in 2.5, it's the same cost of entry. So
yep.
If you're in pre-code horror, find the one you want. Don't try and buy a spec. Don't try and buy this. Buy the cover you want because they are all
skyrocketing, dude.
Yeah, I mean, if you buy one to flip it to try and get the one you want, odds are they're both moving at the same speed, and you will miss it.
Z, what's this one by? I'm just googling it. PS Art Books reprint. It's like a big thick yellow border by Harvey Horrors. Does that sound familiar to you? Do you want to send me the link?
Amazon reprint.
Just a random reprint.
Yeah, Amazon does some that they reprint, and you can kind of see them with the
2000. It looks like a 2014.
Canton Press did one a few years ago that was a pretty much photocopy accurate cover and contents. So that's the one I stick with. They have a Chamber of Chills. They have an Eerie Comics. Ben's gonna kill me. I think 2.
Yeah,
and a couple others.
they're hardcovers. So DS Comics is a big PCH guy. He's in our chat right now. He did say that Presenta did do some interior art on that.
I think it's one that nobody has confirmed, but I won't deny. And I don't know. If you look at it, definitely looks Rosetta.
Yeah.
So I sent you a link on Hangouts straight to you, Z, like that Harvey Horror's big, thick order.
Yeah, but he said the PS art books are exact copies of the issues cover to cover, just in a hardcover.
Oh, it's a hardcover? All right.
Solid way to buy. So. Number 4 is a personal deviation, kind of the hottest books. This isn't even the hottest one to run, but I just love this one. This particular copy, Dino and the F5 guys sold me, so thank you.
Yep.
Horrific 1.
Yep.
If I'm actually going to number them, this is my favorite pre-code horror book of all time.
It's cool.
And maybe nobody will agree with me, but it's got a ghoul playing a violin with fire and other skeleton ghouls and a girl in the red dress dancing with a green background and red writing.
Did we roll that book to you, or was that graded to you?
You graded it.
Yeah.
You actually haven't done too bad. It's not skyrocketed too much, so.
Oh.
So you haven't lost too much.
Yeah.
This is probably, I don't know. The Black Cat 50 and this are my top 2. I don't know. I've debated selling my lower copy, and I just can't do it. I just don't think I'll ever get another one. So,
it's hard. It's the horrifics are hard, man. Especially like 3. The harder ones are like like all the older ones, but even 1's hard to find, man. It's like
the whole run has some great. This is not a Don Heck. 1 and 2 are not Don Heck. 3 is the classic decapitated head with a bullet through the skull, which actually appears in what's the series? Fury of War 6, War Fury 6. Fucking Tony knows it. If he's in the chat, fill me in. But you see in this pre-code war book a guy getting shot in the head, and then later on he shows up as the same head in Horrific 3.
Yeah, Tony wanted that book, by the way, too.
There are a few other beautiful covers. There's one of a shrunken head. There's a great werewolf. There's a few not so great covers in the run, but after 3 and beyond, they're all just an entity with a head shot.
Mm-hmm.
But 1 and 2 are a little bit different. 2 is actually a swipe of Bomber 5, maybe. So it's a great run. I hate Ben C because he got me hunting it, and I got to 11 out of 13. And then 3 got out of Rome, and I started selling them off. And then all of a sudden, I bought a 3 with half a cover, and I thought, oh, I'm there. And then I realized I sold too much with the run to get it back. So I will probably never acquire all 13 books, but it was fun trying. My number 5 is I do not have. Nope. And I will share. Hopefully, it's sharing.
Negative.
Negative Ghost
Well,
Rider. Negative.
if it's on your hat, then yes, we can see it.
Damn it.
Get that hat at CBSIswag.com.
You can get it out there. Screen share.
Gold lamp not for sale.
It depends.
No,
You gotta
I can't
give
get
them
it.
the right
Apparently, I'm too dumb to work it.
I'll do it. What's the book? I'll pull it up.
Mask number 1. Mask Comics number 1. L.B. Cole, probably his most classic cover. That is the book I probably regret not buying a few years ago.
Is that G.I. Joe knockoff?
Yeah, that one.
That's nice. I like that one. That's like a Japanese tattoo style.
Very much.
I'm sorry. Hold on.
White colors. I like that.
This is
not. I mean, most of his books are not horror.
There it is.
I'm
That's
sorry.
awesome.
That book is one that is selling for so much money you can't even imagine. It is just gorgeous. Butterfly women, the colors. Mask number 2 is beautiful.
I was going to show you. This is mask number 2, boys. This is good stuff too.
Oh,
If you find any book with LB Cole, buy it.
I mean, look. I mean, even like this. I didn't even talk about Suspense 8. These are some good covers. Suspense 8,
colors.
dude. Suspense 8's another great cover that nobody talked about. That's on the list. But I mean, I saw a couple guys with this book. I mean,
I think that's where the market is kind of heading, where these covers that people don't know about, people have forgotten about, people who knew about the covers aren't alive anymore. I mean,
look at these numbers, man. I mean,
I don't know. I typed it in the chat. Like, if you're at a flea market, and like, is a good tip that if it's a 10-cent cover, buy it. I mean, I don't know if
At the right price, I don't think you go wrong.
This is Bomber Comics number 3. I mean,
that is the one I was saying was the horrific kind of 2 was stolen from.
That's DS Comics. Maybe we can have DS Comics. He's a big PCH guy. Maybe we can get him in because he's talking about a lot of covers. Like, this is Bomber Comics number 2, which is a cool cover too.
I mean, LB Cole and Matt Baker make Adam Hughes, Art Germ, and all those guys cry right now because they are so hot. It is ridiculous. They haven't drawn a comic in 65 years.
This is we're talking like on the chat. There's like Tony's talking about War Fury number 1.
That's what I was trying to say. The head from
starting 11. I mean, there's so many books out there. It's just ridiculous at the end of the day. So I mean, I'm gonna stop presenting, but yeah, I mean.
If you can pull yourself away from the draw of the current market, the Wednesday Warrior, the just easy.
You are investing in books here. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's the difference. And maybe you do both. You do the Wednesday thing. You do the whatevers to finance the long game.
Here's another Cole book that Tony just picked up. Check this bad boy out.
Oh, that's a beauty. Wow.
Let's go, boys.
I don't know many Cold War books, and that is amazing.
It's rare. Tony told me it was rare. We were talking about it this afternoon before the podcast.
Number 11.
Yeah, number 11. From
if you're not on IG, you should be just because there's some people showing off books that you just don't see.
A-Star Comics. Yeah, I mean, it's cool stuff, man. I mean, I'm a big Cole fan too. It just you start looking at prices, man. And a minimum book's what, $400 just to get in on some of these books, $300-$400, and they're just like beat. I mean, look, I got a couple pre-code that I actually can show on the screen. Give me 1 second. Let's see what I got in here. A little bin of goodness over here. I think I showed this before a bunch of times, but
everything all right up there in Detroit area, Dino? I haven't seen many cats tonight.
Well, they're, you know what? I don't know what's going on with them. I think they're upstairs. So, like, I got this one. Like, let me present so I can see what's going on. So I have this one, which is like, so a Tomb of Terror, number 10.
Well, there's so many subgenres. Like, you could do werewolf covers. You can do skeleton covers. Telling about the guy that just did oversized appendage covers.
Yeah, here's a skull, Kid Eternity, number 12. It's pretty beat. Both these covers I got this cover literally for $10 on my comic shop, dude. But it's like a 1.0, dude. I mean, I don't care. It's just a cool cover that I like. I mean,
that's it's an awful nice looking 1.0.
Yeah, well, it says 1.0. There's a spine split all the way down the comic, dude. I mean, I haven't even pulled it out because I'm afraid to. So, Kid Eternity, 12, just skull cover, pretty cool, old school. What else do I got in here? This is more crime related, but it's death, kind of. Date with Danger. But yeah, I mean, I'm just a big, when it comes to like old stuff like this, that's what I kind of like to collect, like to do. This is maybe we'll start doing crime next or something like that.
Oh, I think crime would be a great topic.
Yeah, gangbusters. There's a bunch of them out there, man. I mean, everybody talks about, Other ones, I mean, I don't even know what else I got in here, boy.
Well, we've talked about this before, Z. The Golden Age and pre-code covers are very similar to the modern, really hard to find variants. It's 100% driven by cover, and most of them are you just can't find them. Nobody has them. You go to a show, nobody sells them. Nope. Stores, nobody sells them. It's just, I mean, they're just tucked away in people's collections, and
a little bit of one-upsmanship.
I mean, like you can go into subgenres of like cowboy stuff and western stuff.
Wait, are you going to Western, Dino?
I'm going to westerns, baby.
He 10 years ahead of the curve?
I just like this because it looks like she's giving him a stone cold stunner. But I mean, there's so much stuff out there that
it is. I mean, collecting is a little bit of showing off at this point, and I'm not immune to it. I got this cover of this grade that you will never find.
And they're still doing stuff today. This is a book that we bought. Didn't we buy this today or this week, Paul? Last week?
Yeah.
That we showed off. I mean, they're still doing them, you know.
I think it's coming back. I think, in my opinion,
this is Scout Comics too. It's like Hack does a bunch of stuff. I mean, look, Hack does a bunch of stuff that looks like it back in the day. I mean, it's a little modern-esque, but
the horror stuff is coming back, and I think the next big book is going to be Tomb of Dracula Blade. I think vampires are making their return, and I don't know. That's my
Vampires are so 2000.
What's that?
Vampires are so 2000. What?
Yeah, dude.
Hey, that's just my zero opinion.
That's your zero opinion.
Listen, I think we hosted 2 months ago. The foreign market and the Golden Age market are a little bit similar in that they are just, and the variant market, so to speak, the real variants, the ones that are hard to get, is I have this, you can't fucking find it.
Yep.
Fuck off. And
that's what it is, man.
Because we live our lives on social media of
it's about showing up, dude.
Can you one up me?
Yep. So
I live in a world of can you one down me?
Nobody can outdo you, Paul, because usually they die.
That's right.
You're like a choose your own adventure that somehow keeps fucking choosing the one that is painful but makes it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a sad yet incredible existence.
If you guys, if everybody kind of liked us showing these, I mean, we can definitely. I mean, there's so many different plays, like they're saying, crime, good girl art. There's a whole bunch of stuff that we can show kind of our favorites. Going back to Golden Age.
And maybe we do it from modern and go all the way back to Golden Age or something like that. Each, do a couple segments once a month and do modern and copper, bronze, silver, whatever we want to, So.
Yeah, we're just throwing shit against the wall, guys. If you like it, give us a like. Give us
like, subscribe, all that stuff. Share it out, tell your friends. So, as usual, I think this is a good stopping point. But as everybody knows, comicbookinvest.com for your speculation needs. Or I know they just came out with the first appearance list, right, Paul?
Yeah, and so that first appearance list isn't as is, because I've already seen comments of, where's this, and is this really the first appearance, etc. So that list is going to be fluid, continually updated. So I think the best place to post, hey, what about this, is on the website, and that way it's the easiest place to show, for us to access and say, hey, you're right. Hey, we're wrong, and all that good stuff, and keep it fluid and keep it updated. So
I thought we agreed that everybody is supposed to send Paul a specific hangout,
correct,
for all mistakes that you find, and he'll take care of it for you.
Follow-up email.
Yeah. Email sregs@gmail.com.
Yep.
Do it up
there. That's fine.
Hey, you guys all know Scotty refuses to do anything until it's Silver Age, so
that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll learn something. Yeah,
you're learning. I mean,
I'm not buying any.
You can appreciate the art, though. I mean, at least you know.
I don't want to invest time in learning it because then I'll have to spend money on it.
I'll teach you when we go to Charlotte. There'll be so many Golden Age prequel horror stuff there that will blow our mind.
Shout out to your boy Tony L, and he did a wonderful top 10 war comic list on the site this week. That
I'm gonna get him on, dude. I've been thinking about it. We're gonna get him on so we can talk about war books, maybe.
He's dug in. He has shown me some stuff that is incredible that I didn't know existed.
Yeah,
the internet can't be any worse than California, right?
I mean, I know we got him. I got him a new computer, so
yeah.
We'll have to goof off the generators.
Yeah. So, all right, boys.
Hey, one more thing. We kind of did it a couple weeks ago. Had a couple little mini videos for our Tales from the Flip Side on our channel.
Yeah.
I am actually going to start a new segment that I'm going to do weekly, and it's going to kind of tie into my top 10 list. It's going to kind of be books that almost made the list. So almost like 11 through 15, 11 through 20, something like that. So some additional books that I will do specifically that's not going to have an article attached to it. It will only be on this channel. So the only way you'll be able to get that is to get it.
Exclusive content.
Exclusive content. Oh, boy.
Exclusive content.
Oh, but what was here? I get everybody a Patreon.
About the Patreon this thing.
So I'm trying to maybe calm one of these guys to jump on with me if they want to, or I'll just do it myself. I don't know.
But only if you put a Crow book on every week.
I have no idea about any of these books. I'll do it.
I'm still waiting for the Crow top 10 list, specifically Z. So that was you said you were going to take care of that, but you haven't done that.
I get a little distracted, a little sidetracked.
So I haven't decided if it's going to be a live stream or if it's going to be pre-recorded. And we may try it both ways, see which way works best. But if you hit that little bell, it'll give you the notification that when it goes live. But my guess it'll probably be sometime either Friday or Saturday.
Dude, just subscribe to the channel. At some point, I'm gonna do some rabbit hole videos and just take you into some crazy shit.
Hey, we could always go live during a con too. You never know.
Yeah, we'll be at Heroes Con. I'm sure we'll do a night because actually a lot of people I didn't know this, are coming to Heroes Con, maybe. We got a crew, boys. So we might actually do some shenanigans and might actually do it. So
we should do a live video of who thinks they can outdrink Sean.
Well, Sleepy's coming with us. So
I'm gonna work the booth, so I'm not gonna
I gotta work the booth, so I gotta be on my best behavior, boys. So
is TJ coming? Is TJ coming?
I haven't heard yet. I'll talk to him. I'm sure
he shows up though.
Yeah.
If you get TJ, I'll tell the wife I'm in.
TJ's on the West Coast.
TJ, you heard it.
I'm gonna text TJ right now, actually.
Get his ass in. If TJ's coming and Sean's coming, I'm in.
Yeah, Sean's a go for sure. So
you heard it here first, people.
Yep. So let me text him right now and ask him. But all right, boys, we're gonna end this one with that little segue, and we'll hit you up with the update of TJ's coming to HeroesCon next episode. So, all right, boys, good show. And we'll talk to everybody next week.
Later.
See ya.